The podcast you're about to enjoy is part of the LOWTREE Studios podcast network. To enjoy great podcasts like this one, go now to the LOWTREEstudios.com. And remember, get to the podcast.
Wreck My Podcast!
Be careful of angry mobs of holiday shoppers and mall Santas because this week we cover the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic Jingle All the Way. Non-alcoholic eggnog not included on this week's episode of Wreck My Christmas.
Wreck My Podcast!
Welcome to the Wreck My Podcast, where this week we're jingling all the way to a busy mall because that's where everyone wants to be at Christmas time with their loved ones, other capitalistic shoppers. I'm here with my guests. You're his number one customer. It's Cam.
I am. And you are. We are.
Nice.
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah. He won't put that cookie down. No, it's Joe.
Cookies! Cookies! He was kind of like Cookie Monster in this.
A little bit, yeah. He liked his cookies a little too much. He's the booster of Wreck My Podcast. It's Krager.
I'm going to deck your halls, bub.
I like that. And then now this is Christmas shopping. I'm your host, Jordan. Dude, he like that kid Jake Lloyd only knows how to act in one dimension. He was essentially playing Anakin, or I guess Anakin was essentially playing Jamie Langston.
It was just Jake Lloyd playing both characters and being Jake Lloyd.
Lloyd playing Jake Lloyd.
I hate when Jake Lloyd, the one specific part is like when Arnold goes to pick him up from kindergarten or whatever, and he's like, Jamie, and he turns around and he's just like, Dad? Like, it's like staring at his dad for like 40 seconds before he even acknowledges him.
Yeah. He's not a very good actor. I honestly, it baffles me how he got the Anakin Skywalker role when there's so many better actors out there.
When has George Lucas ever cared about how good an actor is?
That's true. Yeah, it's true. He probably was looking for the most like young-hearted, almost sincere, but kind of annoying character just so that because he's like, hey, this is Darth Vader, but it's like the opposite of Darth Vader. It's an annoying little kid.
The Sprouse brothers were
also R.I.P. to the original Darth Vader.
Oh yeah,
he did
Prowse
die.
Passed away recently, like last week or something like that. Yeah, big bummer.
Yeah,
that guy was a big old Irishman, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Have you seen? They have like videos on YouTube of like the guy in the Darth Vader suit, like saying his lines and stuff. In his accent and everything?
It's definitely not as menacing as
crazy.
Not Neil deGrasse Tyson. What's his name?
James
Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
I heard,
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but I heard that they never actually told the actor in the Vader suit, I can't remember his name, but they never actually told
David
him
Prowse.
that his voice was going to be dubbed over.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic...
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away.
Yeah, I think he was a little upset when he found out about that. Yeah, but that's
Can
just
you
like
imagine
George
going
Lucas.
to the premiere?
I know it'd be like, guys, I'm in this movie, and it's like, are you really? I didn't see you or hear you. But George Lucas did the same thing to Han Solo. He was like, Harrison Ford. He's like, yeah, Han Solo's gonna die in Return of the Jedi, and then halfway through filming, he's like, I don't think he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that they were laughing about it on the Woody Show because they were saying, so what was the qualifications for this guy to be Darth Vader? Tall? Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much tall, menacing, I guess.
You know who else is
He
tall?
doesn't even need to be menacing. He just needs to stand there and be tall. And just go like this every now and then.
You know who else is tall? Big Show as the scary mall Santa.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Jingle
So
all
cool.
the way.
All right, before we get
How
into
awesome
that,
was Big Show in
Amazing.
this?
now that we've done our obligatory 2 minutes of bantering, let's watch the trailer real quick here. And if you like watching things, you can watch us on youtube.com/wreckmypodcast, where you can see our beautiful faces and some cool backgrounds I typically do, as well as Instagram, where we post stuff on there. So let's watch the trailer, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about who was in this movie when it came out, all that fun stuff.
Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the rock and roll jetpack, and the boomerang shooter.
Getting it is every child's dream.
Whoever doesn't can be a real loser.
Finding it
You got the doll, right?
is this father's nightmare.
I'll get that toy. I promise.
Whoa! Nothing like waiting until the last minute, Howard, sir.
Especially on Christmas Eve.
Turbo Man, you're mine!
They're all gone.
These two are looking for a Turbo Man!
Where's your Christmas spirit?
The last one just left.
Now, it's two fathers,
This is war.
one mission,
Oh, poor baby.
and every man for himself.
I'm thinking maybe, we could join up as a team. Like Starsky and Hutch. We're late delivery of Turbo Man. That toy works. Let's go. Is there a problem, officer?
You can never do too much to make a child's Christmas magical.
Hey, buddy.
From the director of Mrs. Doubtfire,
You want a Turbo Man for Christmas? Forget it. I'm not gonna sit in your lap.
Tony, show him.
That was taken this morning.
and from the director of The Flintstones.
Don't open that up. No.
Of course, there's some assembly required. You know what you guys are? Nothing but a bunch of sleazy con men in red suits.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad,
I work for the post office and I'm unstable. Tell him.
This man is totally insane.
Thank you.
Christmas comes but once a year.
Jingle all the way.
You picked the wrong day.
So that was a trailer for a 90s Arnold movie. That yeah, 100%. This movie, okay, I'm happy this movie came out at a relevant time because we've been watching movies lately where they've been coming out at the wrong time, like a Halloween movie that comes out in July or stuff like that. This one came out November 22nd, 1996. So the whole holiday season, this was in theaters for people to go watch. So
Amazing.
that worked well, actually, for once here.
You said this was 97?
96. 96.
Okay.
So we were 7 years old.
Yeah.
Or Krager wasn't, but the other three of us were.
I was
Krager, five, yeah. So you were the age of Jake Lloyd, pretty much. I think we all were I had a friend in elementary school who knew Jake Lloyd, I believe. And I always thought that was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid. And now I'm like, yeah, he was probably either one lying or two that wasn't actually very cool.
Yeah, but both of those are accurate.
Yes, 100%. So this had a $60 million budget.
Okay.
And in the USA, it grossed 60.5. But worldwide, it grossed 129. So it did what it needed to do.
It doubled its money, pretty much.
Yeah. It would not have done this well if Arnold wasn't in it, because the name recognition is literally the only reason this movie made money.
But he's also the worst part about the movie.
No, he's the best part about the movie. I
He is
love
not
No, he's
Arnold.
the worst part about the movie.
He
No
is
way,
not
he's
the
so
worst
good.
part. Sit down.
He's not
Sit down.
believable in any character of this movie. He's not believable as like this business guy.
Hey, little girl, I have this red ball.
Yeah.
And does he? What does he do? Does he work in customer service?
No, he's a
He's
mattress
the head.
salesman.
He's like the head of a big mattress firm, I guess.
Yeah.
a big firm mattress.
firm? Is that what they are?
Yeah, they're
He's
firm
the head of
mattresses.
a big firm mattress.
His job is literally just to tell people that they're his number one customer. That's
You're my
solely
number
his
one
job.
customer.
So actually, his real job is disappointing his family. But anyway, this mostly was filmed
Also a big freaking liar.
Oh yeah,
Dude
I
lies
know.
left and right.
His wife, bless her heart, she's very loyal to him, even though he's kind of the worst husband ever.
Well, yeah.
Also, you think they could have found a more believable dude to be like the desperate house husband?
Except
like,
Phil Hartman.
Yeah, like I was all like rewatching him, like, why is that dumpy dude like the stallion of the cul-de-sac?
Dude, it was the 90s. People thought that Matthew Perry was good looking, so I don't
true.
know what's going on.
Everyone was backwards.
Everyone wore really big shirts and giant ties, and that made them attractive. So I don't know.
She's always after my
People thought
nog.
Sinbad was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sinbad was pretty good. So this movie was mostly filmed in Minnesota, except for the parade part, which was filmed at Universal Studios in Los Angeles. So the New York street
sense.
down in those studios back there, if you've ever been. Guys, 15% critic score and 38%
Are you
audience.
kidding me?
This
I'm with
has
you
a
on that,
lower
too.
This has a lower audience score than I think Thanksgiving had.
Yeah,
By
I just
1%.
re-listened. No, I just re-listened. Thanksgiving had a 40-something%.
Yeah, I don't understand people's.
No,
I'm
this
with you on
movie
that
is
one.
a million times. This movie is bad, but it's a million times better than Thanksgiving.
At least it's got some heart. Thanksgiving's just
Cameron,
ripping
just
hearts out. This
stop.
has a little bit of heart that stays in the chest.
Thanksgiving is not a good movie.
I never said it was good. It's still under 50%.
Well, I was gonna say, Cam's just happy that they made a movie for $3,500.
Yeah, that we all watched and they get paid still. Like, that's incredible. Whereas this movie is like, oh, let's just watch Arnold yell a lot and Sinbad be a stereotypical black guy. The movie. That's it.
Isn't that every
we
movie
got-
that Sinbad
hold
and
on.
Arnold's in?
Hold on. We got Chris Parnell and a Belushi.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's a win.
So let's talk about who was in this. Let's talk about who was in this movie real quick. So
Big Show.
obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger, big, Big Show, which his real name is Paul White. Is his real name?
I'm real glad he legally changed it to Big Show.
To Big Show. So he was the big Santa. Now, one thing I noticed on IMDb is they said the little Santa with him was Vern Troyer, but I looked and that was not Vern Troyer.
I don't think it's Vern Troyer.
No, that's
so
not
this
Vern.
This is fake IMDb news right here. Sometimes they throw these in there and I'm like, who's saying this?
Austin Powers' Spy Who Shagged Me came out a year later.
Yeah, there's definitely not Mini-Me under that suit. It didn't even sound like him. Like, come on.
Nope.
So we have Rita
But then again,
Wilson.
what does Mini-Me sound like?
Like a mini version of Michael Myers. Mike Myers.
Mini-Me
Michael
doesn't
Myers.
say anything. He just kind of goes, "Ee."
Yeah. That's exactly what Mike Myers sounds like in all his movies.
Wow.
So,
He's just saying,
I do not
he just
condone
sounds
that.
like Dag from Angry Beavers.
So Rita Wilson, she plays Liz Langston, the wife. She's from Sleepless in Seattle, That Thing You Do, a lot of Tom Hanks movies. She was in the HBO show called Girls, that recent one that came out like 7 years ago. I guess that's recent.
The one with Adam
Probably
Driver.
that was
More
kinda
than
cool.
7 now.
Was it more than 7?
Probably.
I thought it
I don't
ended
think it's
in
more than
2013,
7.
so maybe it ended 7 years ago.
You know what's funny is she reminded me of Schwarzenegger's real life wife. Like she kind of looks a little bit similar.
Maria Shriver.
She doesn't remind you of Schwarzenegger's real life nanny?
Oof. Didn't I think when I was researching his wife, it popped up. Chris Pratt put a baby in his daughter.
Wait, what?
Chris
What are you
Pratt
saying?
is Chris Pratt put a baby in Arnold's daughter.
Oh. Okay, well, hey, good for Chris Pratt.
When you say Chris Pratt put a baby in his daughter, means Chris Pratt put a baby in his own daughter.
Yeah, I was thinking you were talking about like some incestuous weird stuff going on
Girls,
right now.
girls ended in 27.
Pronouns are fun.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's only 3 years. Dang. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was unaware that show kept going on for that long.
Same.
So we have Sinbad, like we said, plays Myron. He was in Coneheads, if you guys remember that great movie. He was also in.
That was a good one.
He was also in line for a Southwest flight wearing a backpack that said bad on it when I was flying home to Los Angeles from Oakland.
That is hilarious. That is so good. He actually showed up in a movie we've covered in the past, Good Burger. He was in Good
yeah, he
Burger.
was in
I think.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He was
and then
the teacher.
also he was the teacher, and also he had his own show called the Sinbad Show. I had no idea that he had a
remember
show.
hearing
Yeah, he was
about that.
popular in the 90s.
Yeah, he was like
Wasn't
wasn't
he
he like
in
a
the 90s?
He was a pretty
I don't know.
clean stand-up act back in the 90s,
Yeah.
so this was like different for him to play a role that was an antagonist, actually. But we have Phil Hartman, who plays Ted. Obviously, SNL does a ton of voice work. He was in So I Married an Axe Murderer, talking about Mike Myers.
Oh, yeah.
And in News Radio, which was a huge show, he was in that as well. Jake Lloyd, Anakin Skywalker. We don't need to talk more about him. So Jim Belushi as the Santa, another SNL guy. There's a lot of SNL guys in this because, as you said, Chris Parnell shows up as well in this. But Phil Hartman, Jim Belushi, he was in According to Jim, that TV show. Did you guys ever watch that?
I actually watched a lot of that.
I never saw it. I think it's on like Netflix or something. I always scroll by and I'm like, yeah, whatever. He was in Last Action Hero with Arnold as well, and Little Shop of Horrors is some of the big things he was in. Chris Parnell. Okay, so he shows up as a toy salesman for a hot minute in this show. And if you don't know who Chris Parnell is, he is in Hot Rod. He was in SNL. He's Dr. Spaceman.
He's Dr. Spaceman.
From 30 Rock. He voices Jerry Smith from Rick and Morty. He was in Anchorman. Chris Parnell is a American treasure at this point. But
Archer.
Archer. This was his first movie role ever. That's crazy. Like, I feel like he should have been doing stuff before this. You know? Like, that's so funny. And then we have Curtis Armstrong. He plays the chain-smoking booster, so the guy in the booster suit. And did any of you guys recognize who Curtis Armstrong
immediately know when I saw him, like, okay, I've seen that guy in a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I couldn't tell you a single thing I know him from.
Okay, so more recently, he plays Principal Foster from New Girl when Jess is like last season school she works at. It's the principal. He's also Booger from Revenge of the Nerds when he was real young. So there you go.
That's it. I feel like he was something in like the 70s and like a couple years ago.
He's in like 100 things. I'm just mentioning the things he's most known for, at least to me. Those are the two things I know him from. Plus the backyard in his jacuzzi. So he's there. Did you guys notice Yardley Smith? So if you don't know who Yardley Smith is, she voices Lisa Simpson. It said on IMDb that she's a flirting woman in this movie. I didn't see that character or her face show up at all in this movie.
There's a flirting woman.
It's probably one of the people that was hitting on the neighbor dude.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe I didn't. She has a very distinct face, and I did not notice her. But it says she's in it, so cool. This movie is so directed by. Have you guys heard of this man, Brian Levant?
Oh, did you just say Jon Favreau?
Yeah, I wish. No, if this was directed by Jon Favreau, then Arnold Schwarzenegger would have been like the owner of a food truck or something.
Yeah. He would have been technically the first Iron Man.
Yes. That's so true. No, Brian Levant is the director, and he directed The Flintstones. Are We There Yet?
Oh.
And he's also directing and writing the newly announced Police Academy movie, which I was
making
unaware
another one.
Okay,
I'm not excited about that.
Who's gonna be the guy that's like whoop, whew, whew, like who's gonna be that guy?
Sounds like you just got cast, Jordan.
I'm it. Never seen any of those movies. Call me up. You've never seen The Flintstones?
Well, no, I've seen The Flintstones. I haven't seen any of the Police Academies.
Yeah, I don't really
me
need to.
neither. No, I know what they are. That's all I need. I just got to know what they are.
I think that's a clean sweep. None of us have seen those.
So
I've seen them.
Cam's wrecking the curve over here.
Yeah.
This movie was written by a guy named Randy Kornfield. His name is spelled Korn, which I am convinced is where the band Korn got their name from.
It's got to be. 100% got to be.
He's only written like 8 movies. One of them was 8-Legged Freaks.
Nice.
Oh.
So what caliber this guy's got?
The timeless classic.
Yes. All right, so Chris Columbus is a producer on this film. If you don't know him, Home Alone 1 and 2, he directed Mrs. Doubtfire, directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies, directed the Christmas Chronicles 2 for all you people that love that new Netflix movie that just came out. Chris Columbus is a big deal, so I like that he had his little stamp of approval on this, but also, what are producers? Do they even do anything? Not even an executive producer, just producer.
Yeah, you just count. You could produce.
Yeah, cool. Also, music for this movie. David Newman. Now, we've talked about David Newman in the past.
He's the guy that
brother of Randy.
Yeah, brothers Randy's brother.
Same exact joke you guys made on our Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure movie. Because Bill and Ted, he did the music for it, and you guys made the same exact joke. He did the music for The Mighty Ducks, The Sandlot, Galaxy Quest, Bedazzled, one of my favorite franchises ever, Serenity. So that's pretty cool.
Oh,
and the last thing I wanted to mention, that the fact that I'm saying this exists kind of makes me think someone's gonna end up making us watch it on our Patreon content, is that there is a Jingle All the Way 2 featuring Larry the Cable Guy.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I refuse.
The Turbo Man down at the Walmart booster.
I refuse.
Yeah, that's so bad. All right, so let's move into our next segment here, which is Jordan Explains the Movie Quickly, brought to you by wreckmypodcast.com. You can go to wreckmypodcast.com for all your needs and wants and desires and Christmas list jolliness. A cup of cheer is what I'm told our podcast is. So go to
click that Amazon link.
Don't tell
use
don't
that
tell people
Amazon
to come to us for their jollies. That's a whole
come to us for your jollies. But here
you
we
can
go.
come to me for your jollies.
Joe, calm down over there, Joe.
Oh man.
So here we go. I'm gonna explain the movie quickly. Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly. Howard Langston is neglecting his family to work, so he tries to make it up to his son by getting him the Turbo Man action figure he wants for Christmas. But he waits until the last minute to get it, and they are hard to find, so he's forced to brave the mobs of last-minute Christmas shoppers. Along the way, he meets Myron, a temperamental mailman who also wants to get a Turbo Man doll for his son. Myron becomes a constant thorn in Howard's side throughout the whole journey. All while Howard is having no luck finding the doll, his neighbor Ted is trying to seduce his wife to no avail. Howard meets a mall Santa who takes him to an underground ring of Santas selling counterfeit toys, and after he gets into a Santa fight club for a few rounds, the cops bust the operation. So Howard impersonates an officer to escape this predicament. Hilarious. Howard tries to win a radio show contest to get the Turbo Man doll, but some mail bomb shenanigans get in the way. Hilarious. After all fails, Howard tries to steal his neighbor's Turbo Man doll, but decides against it because, morals. But even after doing the right thing, he still gets caught, and his wife is furious, so they go to the winter parade without Howard. Howard knows he has to make things right, and after a deep heart-to-heart with a reindeer, he goes to the parade and plays Turbo Man on a float to give Jamie, his son, a limited edition Turbo Man doll. Some action happens because what would an Arnold movie be without that? At the end of the day, Howard is a good father again because years of neglect can be made up in one simple gesture of capitalistic altruism.
That was fast.
Real fast, right? All right, I have some questions for you guys. One, which I'm pretty sure I could answer all these for you, but have you watched this movie before?
Yeah.
Joe or Krieger are waiting for the other person to answer. Krieger, have you watched this movie before?
Yes, I have. I actually love this movie as a kid, and I less love it now, but it still has like a little sentimental spot in my heart.
And Joe, what about you? You watched this movie before?
I've never seen this movie once before in my life.
No, that's a lie.
Wow.
You've never seen this movie?
I know of it, and I've seen like commercials and previews for it. I've never once watched this movie until
by commercials. By commercials
How do you
and
feel?
previews, do you mean ABC Family's 25 Days of Christmas?
Exactly.
Hey, it's called Freeform now, bro.
Oh, Freeform. Whatever. I'm sorry. Come at me, ABC.
Yeah, Joe, did it make you feel super warm and tingly?
No.
Did it make you
didn't.
Did it make you feel like Grinch before his heart goes? Like in regular style Grinch?
So before his heart shrunk 2 sizes too small?
Yeah, when his heart is just regular heart.
I think this movie shrunk my heart 2 sizes too small.
I'm with you, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's how the Grinch was created. He watched Jingle All the Way and he became the Grinch.
Come on.
Wow. So
It's not that bad.
So Kreger and I are over here having to be the Jingle All the Way apologists. I love this movie. I watch it every year.
Yeah, you
watch
guys
it
have to
every-
Why do you watch
apologize
this movie
for
every
it.
year?
Because it's so good. I mean, it is all nostalgia. I will tell you, this movie is awful, but it is all nostalgia.
It's a lot easier to watch than Thanksgiving too. So,
Hey, Thanksgiving is an hour long. Yeah, Thanksgiving's his new parents. Because
I was just gonna say that.
It's because it's
Well,
worse.
Kreger, did you
It's
actually?
worse.
Well, first off, you didn't watch Parents. Second, did you actually stay awake for Thanksgiving?
Yes, I unfortunately did.
I love this movie. And you know what? I'm not gonna defend it because it's impossible to defend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a few years, and I was like, ooh, not as good.
Yeah, it's objectively an awful movie, terribly made, especially since the last third of the movie. Like up until a certain point, it's kind of realistic, but like slapsticky. Then the laws of physics just go out the door.
Yeah, they don't
near
exist.
the end.
Oh my
It's
God.
like,
Yeah.
Well,
What
also,
is happening?
Also, the only good people in this movie are like his wife, because Arnold's a dick, Tim's a dick, all the town folk are dick.
Ted.
Everyone's a piece of shit in this movie.
Ted's a dick.
Yes, Ted's a cheat. Ted's like, yeah,
Not
I'm
to
gonna sleep with
mention-
all your wives. Like, okay, like just adulterous. Let's go, full send.
Not to mention that Turbo Man suit gets you so high up in the air.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Unrealistically high. Also, the moral of this story is that if you don't get what you want for Christmas, you're going to grow up to be a bum. That is the moral of this story.
No, the moral of the story is if you're a spoiled little brat who gets whatever they want,
Buy our
they grow
Christmas
up and
presents
kill
early.
a bunch of kids.
That too. Okay, yes, the younglings,
Yeah.
but not Grogu. So
I have a question. If you guys would have been able to cast, if you guys would have been able to cast anyone else in Arnold's character, who would you cast?
He's not the problem. I would recast Jamie.
okay, oh man, that's a good question because my first thought for some reason goes to Robin Williams, but I don't think that would be any better.
You just do
No.
The Rock.
Dude, they should remake
In the
this with
90s?
The Rock.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
The Rock would kill it.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be so
It would be
good.
good.
The Rock would be great in this role.
And keep Big Show in it.
Yeah, it would be
What if they-
The Rock and Kevin Hart, like it always works out.
I was just
And-
gonna say, what if they switched it up and they made Howard's character Kevin Hart, and then you made the Ted character like some generic white guy.
John Cena.
Yeah, there you
Paul
go.
Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Boom. Paul Rudd would play a perfect Ted. He could be a dick.
Look, we
Or-
just did what
even,
producing is.
Even better, Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman would be perfect
Jason
in that
Bateman
role.
would be amazing.
Jason
Oh, yeah.
Bateman would be.
Because even in his roles where he's supposed to be a nice guy, he's an asshole.
Oh, he's the best. Yeah.
I love it. All right, so we obviously know Cam and Joe not big fans of this movie. Kreger and Jordan holding on to childhood for dear life, trying to pretend like this movie is passable. My next question is, Cam, what was the last time you watched this movie before now?
A few years ago, I think it was on TV or something, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this movie. And then I sat through the whole thing, and I regretted every second of it. And I feel the exact same way still rewatching
Yes.
it. I want my time back.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't give it. Patreon,
It's my
Patreon
time,
tier.
and I want it now.
Our new Patreon tier is not money. Give us time.
Yeah. Give Cam time back.
Yeah, and then Kreger, when was the last time you watched this?
Probably a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. So I realized something. This is something I watch every year, but I never sit down to watch it. It's just something I put on in the background every year. So sitting down to watch it and pay attention and take notes was a bit rough.
Woof.
Makes you wonder why you put it on for background noise every year.
No, I get why I put it on for background noise. I don't know why I decided this was the good year. 2020 has enough problems.
Yeah.
But anyway, so some things I noticed about it watching it this time around is that they confirmed eggnog does smell like barf. So I'm happy they did that.
Was that up?
Do you
Was
guys
that
like eggnog?
I'm okay. I like it, but I can't
I
really
do
drink
not
it. It
like
makes me really farty.
I love eggnog.
I
think
love
it's
it.
good.
It's delicious.
Put a little Crown Royal in it.
I don't dislike it. I just think it tastes so meh. Like I would pick so many other things over it for a
Do you know
holiday
who
treat.
mainlines eggnog is Johnny?
Yes,
Johnny.
I know. I bought him. I bought him
Really?
some.
Yes, he drinks it like it's just water. It's like his favorite thing in the world.
Oh my god!
I know. I felt like I had to get him a little something. You know, I was like, Johnny, what can I get you? He's like, I don't want anything, man. I'm all like, can I get you anything? He's like, get me some eggnog. So I was like, so I bought the most expensive eggnog I could find, like a nice glass bottle one.
Yeah.
That's so Johnny. He's like, just give me some eggnog. Give me some eggnog.
like the giant beast of a man he is.
Yeah.
He just downs eggnog.
If you want to be 6'6" and weigh over like push 300, be a big man, drink your eggnog.
Oh man,
Eggnog,
Exactly.
That's the way to do it. So when Howard breaks into Ted's house to steal the gift, he kicks like this plastic head into the fire.
Yeah.
And okay, real funny and all, but my thought was, no one is in this house right now. Ted and his son is over at the neighbor's house. Why is a full fire going? That is safety
Because they're
hazard
responsible.
No.
Man. They're super responsible in this movie.
I don't even blame Howard. I blame Ted for that, for like all the damage happening to Ted's house.
Way to go, Ted.
It's all Ted's fault. They let their 2 8-year-old kids out of the car to go by themselves to a parade with no supervision whatsoever. I get it. It was the 90s, but it's not like it was the 50s. Like, who's letting their kids just go out to this parade unattended?
it's because
Yeah, but
Chris
it's
Hansen
the
wasn't enlightening people yet.
It's the must-see show of the season. Turbo Man's going to be there.
I don't even get that Chris Hansen joke.
You don't?
Chris Hansen's the
No,
one
I
who
don't.
does To Catch. He's the one who hosts
To Catch a Predator.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were naming
Yeah.
one of the brothers from the group Hansen. And
No,
I was like,
that's-
what do they have?
No,
do they have a
that's-
song called like "Let Your 8-year-olds Go to the Parade"?
That's Taylor, Isaac, and Zach. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know their first names. I just
Isaac's
know
the
they make
older
three
one,
Hansons?
Taylor's the middle one, and Zach is the younger one that plays the drums. Okay.
Sorry,
They're from
Sorry.
Oklahoma,
They don't
and they're all brothers. Okay.
I thought that they also made soda, the Hansen soda. I thought
They-
was
they
theirs when I
do.
was a kid.
But only the
Oh my
tangerine
God.
lime one.
Just the tangerine.
Yeah.
So there's fully functioning suits in this movie for Dementor and Turbo Man.
Oh my gosh! Right?
We apparently have jetpacks back in '96 that work. Like, it was just cracking me up that like this dude who's supposed to be standing on a float has a fully functioning suit.
Yeah. I was watching and I was like, how was I as a kid? I was like, yeah, that seems about right. You could just go all the way up in a freaking jetpack. No big deal.
When you're a kid, you don't care.
He
'cause you're
figured out
just
those
like,
controls
Turbo
real
Man is
quick, too.
turboing. Yeah, he did.
Also, apparently, like a bomb in the mail just is totally like Looney Tunes style now. So
I know. I thought the
I
same
know.
thing. Like when the bomb blew up, I was like, that's pretty morbid. And then they showed him just
This
like
was-
his hair
that-
disheveled, and I'm like,
that was the
that's not
first
how a
time-
bomb works,
yeah.
people.
that's the first time I paid attention to watching this movie since I was young. I was like, oh, that's not right.
Yeah, that's just straight up
Yeah.
terrorism.
Yeah,
I know, right? How
That's
are
not
they
real
not
funny either,
arrested
because,
at
like,
the
they're making-
parade?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making a joke. Well, it's funny too because at the end of the movie, Anakin gives the doll to him. He's like, "Here, you give it to your son." But I'm like, he's being arrested. He's not going to see his son for Christmas.
Yeah, no, also, it's just kind of like, yeah, he gets arrested. Arnold did a bunch of stuff too, and he's not getting arrested. Little bit of,
He impersonated a police officer at one point in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, but no
did.
one else is going to know about that.
All of us know.
That's true.
So my last question for you guys is: did it wreck your Christmas?
Yeah.
Cam, did it wreck your Christmas?
Yeah. All the
Joe,
way.
did it wreck
I
your
was,
Christmas?
I was having the most fun
Oh.
Christmas of my life. I actually got to decorate a tree with like my girlfriend that I live with in our home, and then this happened.
I'm sorry. That's all my fault. I'll send you a care package of it's just going to be all sweet tangy balls, otherwise
Thanks.
known as mangoes.
Oh, okay. I'll take. What? I'll take sweet
All right.
tangy balls. There's no such thing as mangoes in Tennessee. I'll take it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Not as good as
food. No mangoes.
Not as good as sweaty balls though.
True.
No, nothing
Wait,
as
you
good
guys
as
seriously
sweaty
don't
balls.
have mangoes?
No, I haven't seen any yet.
What about an avocado? Did you guys get an avocado?
Yeah, and I actually had one, and it was as hard as a rock. And then I had to wait, and then it was good finally. But it was like a full.
That is how avocados work.
Yeah, but like you know when we get them like at home, they're like, you can use that one today. These ones were like green, and they were just like a full on like just solid orb. It was awful.
That statement reminded me so much of a Mitch Hedberg joke where he's like, my friend asked me if I wanted a frozen banana, and I was like, nah, but I want a regular banana later. So yeah.
It's one of my favorite jokes, dude. It's so good.
All right, Joe, what about you? Did it wreck your Christmas, Joe?
I would say no, it did not wreck my Christmas. I did not really like the movie. I thought it was just kind of whatever. I rarely laughed, but I actually agree with you. I think it makes perfect Christmas movie background. Decorating the tree, throw this on in the background, and you're fine.
Yeah, I feel like,
don't actually watch it, just listen to it.
Exactly. I don't know, because decorating for Christmas, making Christmas cookies, wrapping presents, there's a lot of events that you can be doing to have something on in the background. So this is a good movie for it.
Yeah.
Kreger, I guess the question to you is, not only did it wreck your Christmas, but did it wreck your childhood?
It didn't wreck anything. I would say it enhanced me after being the soul sucked out of me having to watch Thanksgiving. So it helped
He will
me in
not
that
stop.
case. No. But I will say it I wouldn't say it wrecked my childhood, but it definitely did not enhance my childhood rewatching it.
Did you just say erect my childhood?
Enhance.
Yeah, I don't think it wrecked my Christmas or anything. It's the same movie I thought it was all the time. It's just a movie that exists that I watched at one point in my life, which means that I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life. So there you go. That's that. Hey, guys, I have some fun facts for you about this movie.
We like those.
What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh, yeah. What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh, yeah.
All right. Talking about who we would recast in this movie. Joe Pesci almost played Myron.
No way.
Yeah, but they thought he was too short, and they thought it was going to be people were going to get confused about the Danny DeVito Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Twins, where it's like a tall guy and a short guy. So they didn't want to use Joe Pesci.
They're going to be like, oh, Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci, they're the same person.
Yeah, didn't we use this guy already for a movie?
Yeah.
Joe Pesci wouldn't have worked.
Can you imagine
I don't think so either.
Danny DeVito as my cousin Vinny, though?
Honestly, I actually would love to see that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That would be.
If we can get Aunt May in there, I'm fine with it.
So Sinbad obviously improvised a lot of his lines, which may be why Arnold doesn't seem so good in this movie, because he was trying to improvise with Sinbad, sense. And obviously Sinbad would be a lot better at improvising than Arnold Schwarzenegger would be.
I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy that he improvised so much.
I could kind of tell by watching like that. I was that stuff. That's no. There's no way that's written.
No, it was like his stand-up where he would just like rant about things and kind of go off about stuff. It was like
his whole shtick.
Yeah, a clean Lewis Black.
Wait, did he improvise his entire speech while they were waiting in line?
I think that's the moment
about the gun and Johnny Quest and all that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the moment I was like, oh, there's no way that's written. No one ever thinks of that to write down. Like,
yeah. Like they probably had something written that was not as good as that.
Yeah, I mean, I think of a lot of weird things to write. I don't know.
Yeah, Cam's an enigma. He's the Riddler over here. He's Enigma. So
I just watched of my mind are an enigma.
I just watched Batman Forever the other night, so I got Riddler on the brain.
Nice,
so good, so
yeah,
bad,
great.
but so good.
Did that one have nipples yet?
That one had nipples, yes, but they were underplayed nipples. They didn't zoom in on the nipples.
The Batman.
Yeah,
Forever.
Those
was
weren't
that
the
last
Clooney
one?
nipples.
Or
No, Batman and Robin was the last one with Clooney, where Bat nipples and the Bat card. But I will say they did do a 6 shot of Chris O'Donnell's butt in tight leather pants during Batman and Forever. So.
Did you get you excited?
Yes. Yeah, it was great. It was great. There was a lawsuit with this movie where a biology teacher claimed that 20th Century Fox stole his script idea that he submitted to them and reworked it into this movie. And he ended up winning. And they settled on $1.5 million in damages. But then right before that they had to pay him, they reversed it because 20th Century Fox proved that this movie was in production before that script got submitted.
Oh.
So
nice.
he almost made his $1 million, but ended up not getting it.
That's a cock tease.
It is. At the beginning of the movie, when Arnold Schwarzenegger is signing that document when he's working, he signs Arnold Schwarzenegger instead of Howard Langston because it's really hard for someone like him to think and talk at the same time, obviously.
No way.
That just made me so happy.
And I looked out for it this time because I saw that. I was like, oh, I have to look for it. And it totally is his name. What? Did you guys see... At the very end of this movie, there's a scene where Turbo Man, everyone's happy, and then it fades to them on Christmas Day, and his wife is like, oh, you went through so much trouble for Jamie. It makes me wonder, what are you getting me for Christmas this year? And it like zooms in on him. He's like, oh no, I forgot the Christmas present for the wife. That was supposed to be a setup for a sequel, but that was also, when it originally came out, a post-credit teaser. But because this movie plays so much on TV now, they reworked it to be a last scene instead.
Oh,
yeah. So that's a fun little bit of knowledge of reworking there.
That's the part of this movie that like ruined it is the fact that he is a terrible human being.
Oh yeah, he's a bad human being.
He's just way too into his work. That's all it is.
Have you seen the director's cut?
No,
there's a director's cut of
tell me
this
what
movie?
Cam, tell us what the director's cut is.
It's the one where Jake Lloyd wakes up and it's the day of his dad's funeral and it was all a dream. And he was just really hoping that he could spend one last Christmas with his dad.
Oh, that guy.
And then he just keeps reliving that day over and over and over again.
While I Got You, Babe comes on the radio.
Exactly.
He learns how to play piano. Yeah. It's great. So it took 3 weeks to film the parade scene, which is a long time.
Way
but
too
there was
long.
a lot going on in that scene. So I guess it makes sense. And Turbo Man was originally going to be named Turbo Tom.
That's way cooler.
That would have been so bad. Oh my God.
All right, so I have some fan theories, mostly that revolve around Myron, that I'm going to say here.
Okay.
So here's the theory: is Myron is actually an escaped mental patient. They say he's not a real mailman because this is the busiest time of the year, and how could someone have that much time to just run around doing shenanigans? Also, you can't just use your mail truck for your own personal trips, but let's be honest, I know some people who work for USPS, and this definitely could happen. He seems very paranoid and conspiratorial about everything. He has no empathy. He is a sociopath. We never see his son or even get a name. He talks about this story where his old man doesn't get him this toy he wanted. So it seems like he's vicariously reliving his dad's life after escaping a mental institute to try and get a toy that's popular. Again, with all these fan theories, there's a lot of room for holes to be poked. And I feel like some people just want to be that kid in the class that like participated to get points. Yeah, no, to be the kid that raises, like the teacher's like, so what did you learn about this chapter of the book where this guy in a blue dress kills a bird? And the person raises their hand and goes, that the blue dress represents blueness. And it's like, okay, cool, thanks, you participated. Here's your participation points. I feel like that's what fan theories are sometimes.
Yeah.
And definitely this one is that.
For sure.
Also, my analogies are getting real bad.
That one was so good, Jordan. I really
yeah, you like that? And then the other theory is that Myron doesn't actually exist, and he's a manifestation of Howard's mind as he slowly loses grip on reality due to stress.
See, that one's just lazy. Everyone's fan theory is always, they're not real. It's a figment of their imagination. Like, that's every fan theory.
It always comes down to like some mental disability.
Yeah, exactly. Their only argument for it is that Myron only shows up at the most stressful of times for Howard to thwart him. And I'm like, yeah, because he's the antagonist of a story. And he's also on the same journey as our protagonist.
Yeah.
So
that's 100% how it works. It's called Joseph Campbell's monomyth theory.
Yeah.
Hi.
So that's the end. One thing I wanted to mention here. So it's not Jingle All the Way, but it is a film that we've covered, The Santa Claus. And I stumbled across a fan theory about the Santa Claus with Tim Allen while I was doing research, and I had to
none of
mention
it was real. And
no, actually, this one's better. The theory is that Santa Claus is actually an exiled wizard from Harry Potter's universe.
Sick.
Because he got exiled because he performs magic in front of muggles by going down the chimney and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. I think that's cool. There's also a theory that the elves in the Santa Claus are cannibals, and that the cocoa they give him is sprinkled in with elf remains, and that's the initiation to become Santa Claus. That one's a little bit more crazy, but I like the exiled wizard.
Dear
thing.
Lord.
Yeah. Say chimney again.
I noticed that too. I'm so
chimney.
glad you pointed it out.
Chimney. How did I say
No,
it? Chimney.
There is no double I.
Yeah, you said chimney.
Chimney.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. There's no second I.
Okay, we've pointed this out before. When I talk for a long amount of time, my
chimney,
nose gets clogged,
chiroo.
and I start saying things in a weird way. So that was more just me saying things in a weird way. Chimney.
Oh man. I'll give you a pass.
Chimney cricket.
There is a little
It's
fire
so
pit called a
funny.
chimenea, so I'll give you a pass.
Chimney. I just said it weird because I talk really fast.
Chimney.
I'm so glad you pointed it out, Cam, because I thought the same thing. I was like, that was kind of weird.
It's how my whole life I said milk with an E.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
can
hate
never
that.
say it correctly.
My mom says it like that too. My mom also says
I have to-
My milky Pogo Puffs.
Yeah, I have to think anytime I say milk now and force myself to say it correctly, because if I don't, it's like a wolf. I say woof too. I have to like really think.
That's my least favorite. You need to
wolf.
kill that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have killed it, but like I still
Good.
have to think to do it every
Like
time
Lassie.
I do it. Yeah, just like I can't really say irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable?
It's irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable?
Irreconcilable. I can't say that word.
Irreconcilable.
It's non-water soluble.
Anyway,
soluble erection.
if you like this content, go check out patreon.com/wreckmypodcast where you can get more content like this. We do a show every week. Plus, you get some cool rewards. Also, we do a show called Around a Round Table every now and then when we feel like doing it, where we just do segment stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So check back some weeks for that. Thank you guys for watching this movie, doing the podcast, and being of the holiday spirit. And thank you to our listeners, because without you, we wouldn't get wrecked every week, and we love getting wrecked. So thank you.
Christmas.
I jingle you all the way.
Jamie.
Wreck My Podcast. Wreck My Podcast.
Christmas.
All right. Christmas. So guys, for Patreon, I forgot to mention it on this too, but I'll mention it on our next Around Table. We have a new patron. It's Krager's friend Ismael Vega, who showed up to some of our live events.
Yeah.
the guy you
he's
work
gone
with.
to Pocock.
Yeah, I used to work at him with at that trucking.
Do you
place
still
he
talk to
worked
him,
at.
Beggs?
I hear him there.
Yeah, so he's our new patron, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, what do you want us to cover
I like
on the
that
Patreon?
guy. He was always so nice at Pocock and stuff.
Yeah, he's super nice. So I sent him, because he was the $5 tier. So I sent him a little toy, and what it was is it's a Star Wars Pez dispenser of the dude who's the Walrus Man from the New Hope, but it just looks like two giant nut sacks on this Pez
I am
dispenser.
the walrus.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I told him, I'm like, dude, because he said he likes Star Wars.
And that's
I'm
where the
like,
Pez comes out.
I'm sending you something so funny from Star Wars.
Oh,
That's amazing.
guys. When we flew in on Monday, my coworker's like, "Oh, we're gonna go get some food," and he picked a place. We went to Fugo de Chao.
Oh, that's expensive.
I've never
What's that?
been to Fugo de Chao.
Brazilian
Holy
meat place.
cow. Yeah,
I love
basically,
Brazilian barbecue.
Yeah, Brazilian barbecue. Yeah,
Joe. Basically, they just bring meat to the table and cut it off the stick right onto your plate, and you eat it. Oh,
That's typical
solid
Brazilian
poop the next
barbecue.
day.
I'm scared to eat there after watching Bridesmaids.
Oh yeah, but no, it was so delicious.
Just don't go dress shopping.
It cost me
Yeah.
it cost me about $80, but it was quite good.
Oh, that's cool. So he said what he wanted us to cover on Patreon this week is our favorite Christmas gifts. Have we done that before? It sounded familiar, but I don't know if we've done that before.
I don't know.
But we're gonna do it.
If we have, no one's gonna remember.
Exactly. No one listens to the Patreon stuff. Why are we even doing it? Okay, so let's move into Patreon content then. Hey, maybe we'll get done actually at a decent time this week.
Yeah, I can only be here for like a little bit of it, but I'm going to bounce. I'm going to be here for as long as I
that's
can.
fine. Let's do it. It shouldn't take too long for this one.
Okay.